A warm California evening, the sun dipping low over Santa Cruz. You're Marion Pesci, 18, a college freshman with long brown hair and a smile that lights up a room. You're thumbing a ride with your buddy Anita Lucchesa, both of you carefree, heading to Stanford to crash with friends. The highway's buzzing with hippies and dreamers, and you're not worried. Hitchhiking's just how it's done back then. A beat-up yellow Ford Galaxy rolls up, and this huge dude, 6 feet 9 inches, 300 pounds, leans out. "Need a lift?" he asks, voice soft, almost shy. He's got a goofy mustache, glasses, looks harmless enough. You hop in, Anita slides into the back, and off you go, tires humming on the asphalt. But something's off. He's quiet, too quiet, and the vibe shifts fast. You're chatting about school, but he's not really listening, eyes flicking to the rear view mirror. Then out of nowhere, he pulls off the highway onto a dirt road, trees closing in tight. "Shortcut," he mumbles, but your stomach's knotting up. Before you can say a word, he's got a knife, big, shiny, catching the last rays of sun. You scream, but it's too late. He grabs Anita first, yanking her head back by the hair, and slash. The blade rips across her throat. Blood sprays hot and red, splatter in the back seat, her body jerking as she gurgles and flops like a fish on a hook. You're frozen, heart hammering, but he's on you next. He stabs wild, no finesse, just pure rage, steel plunging into your chest, your arms, your gut. Blood's pooling under you, sticky and warm, and you're choking on it, vision fading as he keeps going, grunting with every thrust. He doesn't stop there, though. Oh no, this guy's just getting started. Once you're both dead, he hauls your bodies out, tosses you in the trunk like luggage. Back at his place, a dingy apartment he shares with his mom. He's got a system. He drags Anita inside first, lays her on the floor, and crack. Lops her head off with a hunting knife, sawing through bone, the sound like wet with snapping. Blood gushes, soaking the carpet, and he's grinning, this sick little smirk. He does the same to you, Marion. Your head rolls free, eyes still open, staring at nothing. Then the real horror kicks in. He strips you both, naked and limp, and starts. Well, he starts screwing your corpses. Yeah, necrophilia. Full on, no shame. He's panting, sweating, lost in it. After, he hacks you up, arms, legs, torso, piece by piece, blood dripping from his hands, the room stinking of death. Heads go in plastic bags. Bodies get diced like meat for stew. And he's calm as hell, like he's carving a turkey. That's Edmund Kemper, man. Not some random psycho with a temper. This guy's a machine, a 6 feet 9 inches monster, who picks girls like you off the road, turns you into playthings, and tosses what's left like garbage. Over the next year, he'll do this 6 times. 6 hitchhikers, plus his own mom and her friend. And the kicker? He's smart. IQ of 145, charming even. Sipping beers with cops while they hunt the co-ed killer. But before we get to all that, let's rewind. Who the hell is this guy? How does a kid from Burbank end up a walking nightmare? Let's dig in. So, picture Edmund Emil Kemper 3 popping into the world on December 18th, 1948, in Burbank, California. He's a middle kid, sandwiched between 2 sisters, born at Clarnell Stage and Edmund Emil Kemper Jr. Folks who'd split when he's just 9. His dad's a World War II vet, a big guy himself, but Clarnell? She's the real force, loud, boozy, and mean as hell. Little Ed's huge from the jump, tall, chubby, awkward, and Clarnell hates it. She's always on him, calling him a weirdo, saying no girl will ever love him, just tearing him down nonstop. They moved to Helena, Montana, after the divorce, and it's there Ed starts showing cracks. He's not your typical kid. At 8, he's slicing the heads off his sister's dolls, staging little executions in his room, creepy, right? By 10, he's burying the family cat alive, digging it up later to play with the corpse. His mom catches him once, freaks out, but it doesn't stop him. She's got her own issues, drinking hard, maybe borderline personality stuff, and she takes out on Ed, locks him in the basement at night, says it's 'cause he might hurt his sisters. Down there, it's dark, damp, rats skittering around, and he's stewing, hating her more every day. His dad's gone, remarried, doesn't want him, and Ed's stuck with this woman who treats him like a freak. School's no escape. He's smart, crazy smart, but shy, towering over everyone, a walking target. Kids tease him. Teachers don't get him, and he's retreating into his head. Fantasies start bubbling up, violent ones. He's 14, runs off to his dad in L.A., but stepmom sends him packing to his grandparents' ranch in North Fork, California. Maud and Edmund Sr. are old school, strict, and Ed's not happy. August 27th, 1964, he's 15, and it all blows up. He's arguing with Maud. She's nagging him, always on his case, and something snaps. He grabs a .22 rifle, pumps one bullet into her head, bang. Blood sprays across the kitchen. Her glass is flying. She drops, but he's not done. 2 more shots in her back, then a knife, stabbing her over and over, guts spilling out, the room a red mess. Grandpa comes home, sees the car, steps out, boom! Ed shoots him in the driveway, head exploding like a melon, body crumpling. He calls his mom. Cool as ice. I just killed Grandma and Grandpa. She tells him call the cops, and he does. Since they're waiting, no panic, just blank. Cops show up, jaws dropping at this giant kid, and the carnage. Why'd you do it? They ask. I just want to see what it felt like to kill Grandma. He says flat, like he's talking about the weather. Psychiatrists swoop in, label him paranoid schizophrenic, and he's shipped off to a Atascadero State Hospital, a max-security psych ward for criminally insane. He's 15, locked up with rapists and killers, and he's soaking it all in. Atascadero's where he sharpens up. His IQ's 136 then, and he's a sponge, learns the psych tests, figures out what shrinks want to hear, listens to sex offenders spill their guts, files it away. 5 years later, 1969, he's 21, and they let him out, say he's rehabilitated. Big mistake. They send him back to Clarnell in Santa Cruz, even though the docs warn against it. She's at UC Santa Cruz now, a secretary, and Ed's right back in her orbit, that hate simmering hotter than ever. He's free, he's huge, and he's got a plan brewing. The world's about to find out what happens when you let a monster loose. Fast forward to 1972, Santa Cruz is hippie central. UCSC buzzing with co-eds, hitchhiking everywhere. Ed's 23, working odd jobs, highway department, whatever, and living with Clarnell and Aptus. He's got that yellow Ford, a gun, a knife, and a hunger that's been festering since Atascadero. May 7th, it starts Marion and Anita, like I told you. He picks them up, kills them, takes them home. After necrophilia and dismemberment, he's got a problem. Bodies. He drives out to the hills, tosses their parts in ravines. Heads here, arms there, like scattering puzzle pieces. Cops find bits later, washed up on beaches, and Santa Cruz starts whispering about a killer. September 14th, 1972, he's at it again. Aiko Ku, 15, Korean dance student, thumbing a ride. Ed pulls over, chats her up. She's tiny next to him. Trust him. Same deal. Dirt road, knife out. He strangles her first, hands like vice gripped around her neck, her feet kicking, eyes bulging, then stabs her, blood soaking her clothes. Back home, head off, crunch, saw through spine, sex with the corpse, then chops her up. Her head special, though he keeps it, buries it in the backyard facing Clarnell's window. She always wanted people to look up to her. He laughs later. Rest of her? Dumped in the woods. Another mystery for the cops. January 7th, 1973. Cindy Shaw, 18, blonde. Hitchhiking to class. Ed slick now. Offers a ride. She's in. This time, he shoots her, bang, right in the temple, blood and brain splattering the passenger seat. Drags her to his place. Bathtub's a stage. Power saw comes out. BZZ, slicing her into chunks. Flesh peeling back, bone dust flying. He's methodical, humming a tune, bags of parts, tosses most in the ocean off a cliff. Her head? Keepsake again, boils it, strips the flesh, uses a skull for. Yeah, more necrophilia. Sick bastard. February 5th, 1973, doubleheader. Rosalind Thorpe, 24, and Allison Liu, 20. Picks him up near UCSC. Chats about the weather. Stops the car, pulls a .22 pop, Both shot in the head, blood pooling in their laps. Home again, heads off, snap, crunch, sex with the bodies, then dismembers them. Heads in the closet, limbs in the trunk, dumped later in Eden Canyon. Cops are freaking out now. Santa Cruz is murder capital of the world, with Kemper, Herbert Mullen, and John Lindley Frazier all killing at once. Girls stop hitchhiking, but Ed's too good. He's invisible. April 20th, 1973, Good Friday, the big one. Clarnell's home, drunk, yelling at him. Ed's had enough. She's asleep. He grabs a claw hammer. Wham. Smashes her skull, blood and brains everywhere. Bed soaked red. Knife out, slash, throat cut then crack, head off, rolling across the floor. He's not done. Jams her larynx down the garbage disposal. Whir. Bit spraying back up. Fitting, he says. Then he calls her friend, Sally Hallett, 59, invites her over. She walks in, bam, hammer to head, strangles her, blood dripping down her neck. Decapitates her too, leaves her body sprawled on the couch. He's calm after, drives to Pueblo, Colorado. Calls the cops, confesses. They don't believe him at first. He's Big Ed, their bar buddy, but he insists and they nab him. 8 murders, plus the grandparents, 10 bodies, all told. Santa Cruz breathes again, but the scars? Deep. So what's ticking in this guy's head? How's he go from a shy kid to this? Let's crack him open. Ed's not your average nutcase. He's got an IQ of 145, smarter than most shrinks. But his childhood? A pressure cooker. Clarnell's abuse, locking him in that basement, berating him, plants a seed of hate, especially for women. Dad bailing doesn't help. Ed's got no anchor. Atascadero feeds it. 5 years with killers, learning their tricks, honing his mask. He's a gentle giant on the outside, but inside, a volcano. Psych folks say it's rage displacement. Clarnell's a target, but he can't touch her yet. So he takes it out on proxies. Co-eds who look like her, young, free. Everything she hates him for not being. Necrophilia's control, owning them completely. No rejection. Decapitation? Power. Maybe a sick nod to chopping his mom's influence out of his life. He's organized, plans every kill, cleans up smart, which is why he's so hard catch. But he's not impulsive like some psychos. He's patient, calculating, chillingly rational. FBI profiler John Douglas calls him brightest inmate I've met. Ed helps him later, spilling his guts to map serial killer minds. He tells Robert Ressler once, mid-interview, I could snap your neck right now, leave your head on the table. Guard's late. Ed's joking. He says, but Ressler shook. Ed's got no remorse, just curiosity about his own darkness. I was living out my fantasies, he admits. That hate for Clarnell, mixed with genius brain and a giant body, brews a perfect storm. After Clarnell and Sally, Ed's done his grand finale, he calls it. April 24th, 1973. He's in Pueblo. Phones Santa Cruz PD. Spills everything. Cops roll in, cuff him, and he's chatty. Details every kill. No tears. Trial's quick. October 73. 8 counts of first-degree murder. He pleads insanity, but shrinks say he's sane, just twisted. Guilty November 8th. What's my punishment? The judge asks. Death by torture. Ed says, dead serious. California's got no death penalty then. So it's 8 life sentences, no parole shot. He's at California Medical Facility in Vacaville now. Model prisoner. Narrates audiobooks. Helps the FBI. Parole hearings? Denied every time. 87, 91, 94, 07, 17, latest in 24. He's 76, wheelchair-bound, diabetic, heart issues, but a 2022 psych eval says high risk to reoffend after he groped a nurse. He'll die there, no doubt. Next hearing's 2031. If he makes it, March 13th, 2025, and Ed's still a specter. You've seen the beast up close. He's not just a killer. He's a warning, smart, charming, deadly. Santa Cruz healed, but the co-eds ghosts whisper on. His story's a mindhunter. Books, songs, a dark legend. What's it mean? Evil doesn't need fangs, just a smile and a chance. Sleep tight. Buddy, this one's gonna stick.